Got a question from someone on TikTok about what address do you use if the tenant doesn't provide you a forwarding address for any notice of belief of abandonment, and the same could be said for abandoned personal property. We covered that a couple of weeks ago here. I'll tell you the answer. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord War on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, scenario is you don't where do you mail notice of belief of abandonment for either like the tenant abandoned the rental unit or they left personal property, and you got to mail them a notice like, hey, come collect your stuff, you got 18 days to collect it, that type of deal. Okay, so there are two code sections. So civil code section 1983 governs personal property left behind by a tenant when they vacate a unit. And then Civil Code Section 1951.3 deals with an abandoned residential property unit. Both code sections state that you can serve this notice in person to the tenant, or you can mail the notice to basically back to the property address. Your rental unit basically is where you would mail this notice. And if you suspect that the tenant will not get your notice if you mail it back to the rental unit, both code sections basically state that landlords to mail it to any other address known to the landlord where their tenant may reasonably expect it to receive the notice. So, for example, if you have a rental application and the tenant, put references, to their parents or whoever, I probably would mail a notice to the tenant addressed to their references. Or if the tenant had, like a workplace, you had, where they worked at, I'd mail it there. Pretty much any last known address that you may know where the tenant might get the notice. My reasoning behind mailing, I would rather mail a tenant a notice to multiple addresses, just so you can show, like, listen, we mailed it to the property address, and I mailed it to any last known address that, I suspect that the tenant might get their mail. Okay, the law is designed to give actual notice. Sometimes that's not necessarily possible. You may not even have this information, but if you do, it's worth a postage stamp, and a certificate of mailing showing that, hey, you tried here. So if you have any questions, comments, put them down below. I try to answer them to the best of my ability. And if you have a problem like this, feel free to reach out. Until next time, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.